I think the Lok Sabha elections in 2024 has taught us a lot as a party. First time in the history of Indian politics, there has been such a big influence of a fake narrative.
Why has no action been taken against these illegal encroachments? So, by no party, I'm not blaming either one specific party, no party has showed any interest because the general impression is that it's a big vote bank, that no action will be taken.
Well, with regards to most of the slums which are here, they are tolerated structures. That means they are here prior to 2011.
But do you feel that there was resentment during Lok Sabha and that cost seats to the BJP and the Maha Yuti, that resentment that, you know, the great Shiv Sena has been split and BJP is responsible for it?
I don't think so. It's very easy to blame everyone else for your mistakes.
You're saying you're not a pseudo-secular party, you're a secular party.
We are a true nationalist party.
True nationalist, but there are people in your party who do make communal utterances and then that can get you into trouble.
Well, there are people in every party who speak their mind out, but that necessarily may not be the mind of the party.
It's not just festive season, it's also election season on the global stage and here at home, where all eyes are on India's richest state, Maharashtra, where a hotly contested battle is underway between the Mahayuti alliance and the vikas aghadi. Will the BJP-led Mahayuti alliance retain its control over Maharashtra and redeem itself after its disappointing performance in the 48 Lok Sabha seats in the national election earlier this year? Buzz by the Bay is catching up with a key figure in the state. Not only is he the sitting BJP MLA from the prestigious Colaba constituency, he is also the Speaker of the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly, Mr. Rahul Narwekar. Rahul ji, welcome on Buzz by the Bay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for finding the time. It's an extremely hectic time for you, right?
Pleasure to be on your show.
So, first off, how's the campaign going? How's it looking?
Looking great, looking better. And I'm sure that the people of Colaba, for whom I have worked for the last 10 to 12 years as first a member of Legislative Council and then member of Legislative Assembly, where we have resolved quite a few issues which were pending for quite some time. The connect that we have with the locals out here, the connect that we have with the different sections of the societies that exist in this constituency, I'm quite sure that we'll come out victorious to once again serve the people of Colaba.
So, I'm a resident of your constituency, so I'm going to talk to you as a voter.
As my electorate, yes.
As your electorate and as a journalist, and I'll be talking to you about your constituency as well as a bigger picture. You are the speaker, of course, you know. And Maharashtra politics is never lacking in masala, I would like to say, you know. So you said you've resolved a lot of issues. What are your main campaign issues that you're taking up?
Insofar as my constituency Colaba is concerned, I think it is one of the most complex constituencies in the country. If you look at the demographic composition of this constituency has people living in the high rises who are very big industrialists, who are big professionals, they are captains of industry staying in this constituency. In the same breath, if you see, this constituency has the very, very large slums. Other than that, we have the mohallas in Masjid Bandar. We've got the chawls in Girgaon and in the Thakurdwar area. You've got the Kalba Devi area, which has a lot of chawls. So you have to cater to the demands of a different section. And the needs of one is the displeasure of the other. You know it better than me.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very tight rope walk that you have to do. And you have to take everyone into confidence. You have to try and justify your actions to everyone. And it's a tough job, but I'm liking it.
All right. Yeah, it is a tough job. It's a very tough balancing act, as you said. This constituency is a juxtaposition, as you said, of high rises and slums. Very vexatious issue for a lot of people in this constituency. You know, we have high property prices, then you have a lot of illegal slums also. I want to get to that issue because I've heard you speak on it. I'm going to get to that after 2 or 3 questions. But firstly, Lok Sabha was disappointing for the BJP and the Maha Yuti alliance, with 9 out of 48 seats for the BJP, down 14. Mahayuti got 17. Are you apprehensive about legislative assembly elections after that performance?
I think the Lok Sabha elections in 2024 has taught us a lot as a party.
Okay.
Has taught us a lot as karyakartas of the party, as leaders of the party. Unfortunately, first time in the history of Indian politics, there has been such a big influence of a fake narrative. If you look at the constitution, that if they want to get 400 plus because they want to change the constitution of the country, I mean, every sane person would know that the constitution, the basic structure of the constitution can never be amended. Right from the Keshavanand Bharti case to several other cases, it has been ruled by the Supreme Court that the basic structure of the constitution cannot be changed by anyone.
Yeah.
May you get a majority of 400 or 544 in the parliament.
Right.
You cannot change the basic structure of the constitution. So that was a fake narrative that was spread, which did cost us, I must admit. And I feel we fell short in countering this fake narrative, assuming that people will not fall prey to it, which they did. And I'm sure that people of this country and of this state particularly are extremely conscious about their responsibilities, their duties as electorate and as people, and they will not fall prey to such fake narratives any longer.
So you're saying that this whole thing about Samvidhan Khatre mein hai was the fake narrative which cost you.
There are many such other issues. Now, for example, the Bharatiya Janata Party government for the last 10 years has the record of providing maximum Hajj quota to the minorities. This government provided maximum funds to any minority. This government has the credit of not having any major violence or disruption between two communities. And despite that, this government was labelled, or perhaps a fake narrative was tried to be spread, that this government is a communal government. And so these are issues which unfortunately are not, which fortunately are not true, but unfortunately were made to sound true. And I think these are things which we've taken note of, and the correct course of action is being implemented.
But that is a general opinion, right, in the country, and it has been for a while, that the BJP is perceived to be the right-wing government, and the, not so much not anti-minority, but not so much in favor of minorities, more majoritarian. That is generally the view held in the country.
I think the right way to put it is that the Bharatiya Janata Party is not pseudo-secular. We believe in secularism, but not at the cost of oppression of the majority population. Not at the cost of, every time you talk about Hindutva, it is looked upon as being communal. There are other parties who talk about several other benefits, protection to other religions, but that is looked upon as a secular conduct. Let me tell you that speaking up for a religion and working for its protection is not being communal. What is being communal is the pseudo-secularism practiced by many of the political parties in this country. Pseudo-secularism results in appeasement of a particular section at the cost of oppression of the other section. This is not what Bharatiya Janata Party believes in. Bharatiya Janata Party believes in sabka saath, sabka vikas. Bharatiya Janata Party will take everyone along who salutes the tricolor, who believes in the theory of Hindustan, who believes in the theory of Bharat, who believes in the theory of India.
Okay, so you're saying you're not a pseudo-secular party, you're a secular party.
We are a true nationalist party.
True nationalist, but there are people in your party who do make communal utterances, and then that can get you into trouble.
Well, there are people in every party who speak their mind out, but that necessarily may not be the mind of the party.
Okay, well that's, diverting it to another issue. I want to come back to this. So this, your constituency, Colaba, right, even in the Lok Sabha, it went to the Maha Aghadi. Does that worry you at all?
Well, now that my ticket is declared and I've started campaign, it doesn't worry me at all.
It doesn't worry you.
But I was never worried about it, because what have happened in Lok Sabha is that this seat was earlier with the erstwhile Shiv Sena, and now after the split, it was a legitimate demand of the Chief Minister and the party that their party that they wanted to retain this seat. I don't know whether it was the best decision or the right decision, but be that as it may, we were in an alliance and we had to respect the dharma of alliance, and therefore we had to concede this seat to the Shiv Sena then. But insofar as the assembly seat of Colaba is concerned, this was I am the incumbent
Yes.
MLA of this seat,
Yeah.
and rightly so. This was to remain with BJP, which it has.
Yeah, seat sharing. Of course, your opposition hasn't declared a candidate for Colaba yet, as at the time of recording.
So, yeah, that's right. I mean, today we are on the 28th of November, of October, and 29th November, that is tomorrow, 3 o'clock, is the last day and time for filing your nomination. So we are less than 24 hours away, but they've not managed to find a credible candidate who could probably contest against the BJP candidate, and I see this as a compliment, and I think I must appreciate, they've worked very hard to find a match, but they haven't been successful with that.
Actually, during Lok Sabha, many people were expecting you to be the candidate.
Well, honestly speaking, yes, I was preparing for this seat, but I had it at the back of my mind that at the end of the day, whatever the party would decide that's what I would comply with, and therefore I did work and start campaign for the Maha Yuti, for the Maha Yuti.
Yeah.
But I mean, after the decision was made, I worked for the candidate.
You didn't have much time. Were you disappointed?
Well, I was disappointed that we lost this seat, the South Mumbai seat.
Okay.
But I think every disappointment teaches you a lesson, and we've learned from that, and I'm sure we'll win this seat next time over.
Okay. So out of 288 assembly seats, how many do you think the Maha Yuti will get? What is your
I'm
prediction?
very confident that the Mahayuti will win at least 175 seats in the 15th Vidhan Sabha.
175. And the BJP?
BJP should get close to 110.
Okay. So that's quite an optimistic outlook you have over there. When I was in the field during Lok Sabha elections in Maharashtra, I did travel a bit outside Pune and those regions. There was a sentiment among some voters that people are upset with the BJP for splitting the Sena. They were referring to it as this whatever, a lot of the defection, the split in the Sena, washing machine politics, whatever people refer to it as. You being the speaker, you are the one who declared Shinde's Sena as the right Sena. Do you feel that this resentment is still there?
Well, I must first clarify that I have declared the party retrospectively, which is the original political party, which is the true or the original party, but the decision with regards to the prospectiveness of this issue is concerned was decided by the Election Commission of India, which is a constitutional body, which is a partisan body, and therefore casting aspersions on the constitutional post like the Speaker or the Election Commission is most uncalled for, and the opposition, unfortunately, today's opposition unfortunately has been indulging in this every time that there's a decision which is given which is against their liking. They've been indulging in this. But be that as it may, the decision that I have given is completely sustainable in law. It is in accordance with the provisions given under the Constitution of India. It is in consonance with the Schedule 10 under the Constitution.
Fine, but do you feel that there was resentment during Lok Sabha and that cost seats to the BJP and the Mahayuti, that resentment that, the great Shiv Sena has been split and BJP is responsible for it?
I don't think so. It's very easy to blame everyone else for your mistakes. I think it's the failure of the Shiv Sena leadership then, who could not keep their people together, who could not understand their woes, who could not understand their concerns. what I hear is that they were absolutely driven to be frustrated, where the leaders would not listen to the MLAs, the leaders would not pay heed to the concerns of the MLAs. At the end of the day, MLAs had to go back and face the electorate. They were absolutely not comfortable compromising with the ideology of the party. They were not comfortable sitting on the treasury bench with the Congress party, which has been criticized by their founder, none other than late Honorable Bala Thackeray, who had clearly mentioned that the day I have to sit with the Congress to form the government, I will close my party, I will shut down my party.
Yeah, okay, of course, ideological differences with the Congress and all, we know about that. But do you think that this whole issue will cost you all both? The fact that also Ajit Pawar was, called such a corrupt individual and now is part of the Maha Yuti alliance, do you think all this will cost votes in the state election?
Well, I think people are going to vote for progress, people are going to work for development. And the unprecedented development, infrastructure development work which this government has undertaken. If you look at the city of Mumbai, look at the beautiful coastal road. It takes you across to the airport in like 20 minutes, which would otherwise take you an hour and a half. If you look at the Atal Setu, that takes you across to Panvel and the rural parts of the state in less than 20 minutes, which should have taken you a couple of hours from South Mumbai. Look at the Samruddhi highway from Nagpur to Mumbai, which is a game changer. This is going to boost the economy of the state. This is going to boost the entire infrastructure in the state, and the state is going to benefit a lot from this. And people are definitely going to look at these things and vote in the future.
Absolutely. Atal Setu is a game changer. The coastal road, all of that is a game changer. It has made, movement in Mumbai much easier.
Even the social sector, please look at the Ladki Bahin Yojana.
Yes.
Giving disposable income to over 2 crore female population in this state. There were ladies who were completely dependent on their husbands or whoever was supporting them for their disposable income. They had to face a lot of difficulties. Today they can save this money, use it for a cause, they can use it for promoting themselves. So I think this has really benefited the female population in our state. Our sisters in the state have truly benefited from this. Look at the Jal Yug Shivar Yojana, where everyone who demands for a pond or perhaps a well has been provided with one. These are things which the Mahayuti has done, which are unparalleled to any government.
Yes, of course, the LB, the Ladki Bahin Yojana is, political observers say it is a big game changer, and it is definitely going to get a lot of women votes to the BJP, to the Mahayuti alliance for sure. There are infrastructure changes. What plans do you have if you get elected again for further infrastructure developments, especially in your constituency?
It's been my dream project in my constituency to ensure and ease the traffic problem. Colaba has been known for its beautiful roads. Colaba has been known for its mobility, its access, its walking streets. So we need to get a connector between Colaba, Cuff Parade and Narman Point, so that you can access Narman Point and then the coastal road in less than 5 minutes, which right now is taking 20-25 minutes because of traffic. So I plan to get this connector through. Fortunately, I've had the Honorable Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister agreeing to provide funds for this road. So this road will be starting, the construction of this road and bridge will be starting post the code of conduct. Other than that, we are also looking at doing road widening in various places in Colaba, Prakash Pete Marg, etc. We are looking at removing encroachments which are an obstruction to the expansion of roads. We are looking at creating 4 new multi-level mechanized parkings in the constituency. We have already created an underground parking for 200 cars under the metro station at Cuff Parade. So there are many other issues which we plan to take up.
Okay, that's great. We definitely need all these infrastructure changes and to reduce the congestion. But again, coming to now the encroachments and the slums, they are getting bigger. It is matter of, it's angering a lot of the residents of Cuff Parade. I know that's just a part of your constituency, but there are people who say Cuff Parade's become like a vertical slum,
So, I must give you some data and statistics. In the last 5 years, there has been no, there have been only 80 slums, 80 hutments which have been created, new ones on land. Whereas in the previous years, there were thousands which were being created. We have been vigilant to ensure that this does not happen in our constituency. Unfortunately, there is vertical development going on. That means if there is a structure on the ground floor, there is no place in the slums any longer to create any more structures. They are going vertical. And with regards to that, we are in the process of taking necessary steps. We are in the process of implementing good SRA schemes which will eradicate the entire slum and give good habitable living to slum dwellers as well. It will also clean up the area and give justice to the tax-paying population of this constituency. And I can assure my constituents that in the next 5 years, we will have a slum-free Cuff Parade.
Okay, I'm gonna, hold you to that seriously.
Absolutely.
Because it is a real problem. If you see, they've encroached further onto the road and into the ocean, right? I know the Kolis are the original settlers of Maharashtra, but this is not Koli. These are like migrant labor. Everybody's coming here, like you said, they're building vertically. There's now like Chinese restaurants, jewelry shops, bakeries, all unauthorized, illegal, and of course for the taxpayers it's not a pleasant sight. But you have said 5 years you will ensure that Cuff Parade.
Before 5 years, I mean, right now the SRA projects in Colaba, see, let me tell you, even the slum dwellers are not happy living in the manner which they are living in. And it is unfortunate that as a government or perhaps as administrators or public representatives, we have not yet been able to give them sustainable living. We've not been able to give them sustainable habitation. There is a major issue with regards to defense NOC because we are close to the defense area. So that is something that I'm resolving. The CRZ issue is something which I'm resolving. And I think by the end of this year, by December, Jan, I should be able to get all the necessary permissions that will provide provisions for redevelopment of slums in Colaba Cuff Parade area. And after that, we are hoping to rope in a government agency to take over this land and provide accommodation by building good sustainable structures for the slum dwellers and eradicating unsustainable living in the
Where will you build these
constituency.
Sustainable structures?
They'll be here itself. For
Okay.
example, if you see Ambedkar Nagar, Ganesh Murthy Nagar,
Yeah.
it's a slum of over 30 acres. So in part of that, we can have buildings to house the slum dwellers. Rest of it can be used for some good public use.
Right, but what about in the meantime? Why has no action been taken against these illegal encroachments? So, by no party, I'm not blaming either one specific party, no party has showed any interest because the general impression is that it's a big vote bank, that no action will be taken.
Well, with regards to most of the slums which are here, they are tolerated structures. That means they are here prior to 2011. So the datum line for tolerated structures is 2011. So any structure which has been in existence prior to 2011 cannot be demolished, has to be protected till they are given alternate accommodation. So if you see the footpath between Prakash Pethe Marg between President Hotel and Machimar Nagar, up to Machimar Nagar we managed to remove some hutments, create a good footpath, remove hutments which were right on the footpath, and we are trying to do our bit. But having said that, I am conscious about the fact that I represent a multi-complex community, and therefore, while I take care of the interests of my high-rise residents, I am duty-bound to provide good housing to the underprivileged as well.
Okay, because people are, as I said, upset, but you are giving us some assurance, which is a good thing. बहुत ही गंभीर मामला है, people are saying कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं ले रहे हैं इसके विरोध, सब all these structures are illegal, but anyway, for now you've given us your word. Let's see what happens. A little bit, one or two questions, and then we can wrap it up. I know you're very busy. Political observers have said that in this election, the caste issue is a numero uno factor. Probably not your constituency, but overall, would you agree with that? Because
Well,
you saw a massive backlash to the Maratha reservation.
So if you are referring to the Maratha reservation, I think people are now understanding that this entire agitation is like a headless chicken. It's against a government which has strived hard enough to give reservation. It was Devendra Fadnavis and his government that first time gave reservation to the Maratha community. But the only issue is that this reservation has not been able to sustain in the court of law. And therefore, in the court of law, you need to have a sustainable reservation. And to provide that, we are working on it, which we will provide. Unlike the UPA, which gave reservation in 2014, just before elections, and within 3 months, the court overruled it and said that it is void. So what's the point fooling people? We don't want to fool people. We want to give justice to the underprivileged section in the Maratha community. We want to give justice to them. We want to give them reservation which will be sustainable and which will meet the end cause.
Okay, but it did cost seats in the Lok Sabha. What do you expect to happen now?
Well, I think people have learned, people have understood the issue, and this time this won't be an issue for the election.
What about like agrarian issues? I mean, there is still a bit of an agrarian crisis. We still have farmer suicides. I mean,
Well, agrarian crises are being dealt with in the last 2.5 years. Good insurance schemes have been provided. Good technical assistance has been provided to the residents, to the farmers, and therefore I think it is a big opportunity for everyone to understand that Maharashtra is an agrarian economy, and we will do everything to protect the interest of the farmers.
so that traditionally, you know, the Congress is banking on its traditional DMK. I don't mean the DMK of Tamil Nadu, like the Dalit Muslim Kunbi, and then you have the BJP, which has revisited its time-tested Madhav formula, which they say the Mali, Dhangar, Vanjari, you know. So is that true? And but I've also, what I've heard from political observers or what I've seen on news is that you know, this time the BJP is really targeting reaching out to subcastes within the OBCs. I mean, how is that going?
No, I
Did you get
think
the
we as a
support?
party are trying to reach out to every individual in the state, and there is a large section of the OBC community that believes in the BJP ideology and has been always siding the BJP. But let me tell you, other communities and other sections of the society are also with the BJP and will certainly support the BJP.
But this time the RSS is going all out to support the BJP.
Well, the RSS is an organization which is completely nationalist. For them, it is always nation first, and they know who's in the interest of the nation and who's for the benefit of the nation. They will do their job.
The Lok Sabha, there was probably less support, and people say that that could have cost, you know, the BJP.
No, I don't think the RSS per se supports any political outfit, but they support thoughts, they support policies, they support issues. And I think the RSS sees sense in what the BJP is doing.
Okay, fine. Last two questions. One is crime, law and order. You know, with this murder of Baba Siddiqui, people have been raising questions, especially about Lawrence Bishnoi's gang and all. You know, what will you do to ensure that the public is protected? Because we don't want to return to the Bombay of the 90s where there's gang wars.
I know, I agree with you that the killing of former legislator, former minister Baba Siddiqui, who was a colleague of ours, is very unfortunate and most undeserving. Having said that, the state has a glorious record of being a very a state that is run in accordance with law and order, good law and order. Unfortunately, such incidents certainly don't suit and befit the image of the state, and the government of the day is very conscious about this and is doing everything to curb this issue of law and order.
Okay. Lastly, if you get elected, what are the 2 or 3 major steps you intend to take? You know, for Mumbai, for your constituency.
So I think, like I told you, my constituency, there are 3 major issues which I want to resolve in the next term. Number 1, dilapidated buildings in my constituency. I need to get good amendments in the DCPR for providing special regulations for areas like Cuff Parade, which are 50-60 years old. They need redevelopment. Areas like Chira Bazaar, Masjid Bandar, Colaba Market, Fort, where there are dilapidated buildings and need desperate reconstruction, rehabilitation. So I'll work on that. Number two, I want to provide maximum funds for repairs of heritage structures in my constituency. I also want to work on this major water supply issue in my constituency. We are at the fag end, and the Malabar Hill Reservoir provides us water, but by the time it reaches Colaba, the pressure drops immensely, and because of that there's a huge water supply crisis. So we are constructing, I have proposed construction of 5 underground reservoirs in Colaba constituency at Cuff Parade, Colaba, Narman Point, Metro, and at Masjid Bandar. So once these happen, the water problem will be permanently resolved in Colaba constituency. And other than that, I have a huge senior citizen population in my constituency, and I want to make Colaba safe and secure for senior citizens. I want to provide social security to senior citizens in parks, in gardens, on the streets, and in their homes. So these are things which I plan to work for.
Okay, thank you. Lastly, I know I said last, but voter turnout in this is notoriously low. I mean, are you hoping for it to be better? Are you reaching out to people?
It was very embarrassing to note the Chief Election Commissioner saying Colaba in the entire country had the lowest voter turnout of little below 40%. This is not good for our image. Colaba has the esteem of housing the most intellectual people in the country, intellectually sound, educated, and then if we have this kind of a turnout, and let me tell you, unfortunately, our high rises have the lowest turnouts. So if we have to change this, we need everyone to come down and vote.
Yeah, I hope they do, and good luck for the rest of your campaign. Thank you so
much
for your valuable time. Look forward to positive change.
Pleasure. Thank you.